Morning, class, and welcome to week one. I'm Mr. Z. You've gotten some messages from me and hopefully been able to start to get oriented around our Canvas page and the class itself. So far, we've had a few short assignments, syllabus questions, and a short writing about who you are as a writer. Now today, I want to look ahead towards our first longer written assignment, which is a reading response and peer response. So if you click on the live links on our homepage, which will be updated each week, you'll be directed towards the assignments. All assignments for the first unit are up and ready, so you can look at them, review them, but just be aware that they're not due until the due date that's listed. Okay, so this one, you're going to be finding a work that's a 30-second commercial, right? So you can find it on YouTube, wherever you want. It's totally up to you. I found one on YouTube, right? I'm going to share that with you in a moment. And then there's a series of questions that I want you to answer, and you can do this with numbers, just 1, 2, 3, and answer each one like so. You can do it in short paragraphs. It's up to you, or one long paragraph. The response should be about one double space page, which equals 250 words approximately. The important thing to note is that this is a discussion. As we can see, one of our classmates, Kimberly, has already posted her response, and it looks great. I've read through it. It's very good. So now the second part is going to be Kimberly waiting for other peers to post their responses, and then she'll be able to respond to those responses, right? So we'll have a nice discussion thread listed and going, and it'll be something that we can use to interact with one another, since we're not doing any Zoom meetings or synchronous meetings, all right? The other thing I wanted to point your attention to is the modules section. I've opened up some modules for the class. So far, I have one on the writing process. These are some handouts that go over some good writing strategies and the writing process. I have some stuff on essay structure, which will be more important as we move towards essay 1 in a few weeks. And then this one is unit 1, the writer's practice. So that's going to include all of the materials and assignments for our first unit, right? So I have some PowerPoints that I've assembled, and all the assignments for this unit 1, okay? And I'm going to move things around here. And it even goes, I'm going to open up unit 2 later, so I don't want you to worry about that quite yet. But for the first, the discussion, which is due by Saturday, just a couple notes here I want to share with you. It's a review of a commercial, right? So first you'll find a commercial, and it's very much connected to Warner's book, The Writer's Practice. So hopefully you have that. Either you got it through the bookstore, or you have it through Amazon or something like that. But what he proposes is that after you found a commercial, you can start to jot down your ideas, and he has this ROAS system that he proposes that we're going to use. So first you react. You just kind of do an initial reaction. What's going on in the commercial? Is it persuasive? Is there any kind of emotional response, right? Because commercials often rely on appeals to our emotions. What are they trying to sell you? What are you reacting to? Then you go a little bit deeper and think about some specific observations. What's the story of the commercial? What sorts of scenes and images are shown? Who is in the ad? What are the demographics? Who is this appealing to? Age, gender, race, that kind of thing. Then you take those observations and develop an analysis, and that's going to be kind of how you craft your answers to the questions that we looked at a moment ago. Okay, and that's where your thinking comes in, right? And then you synthesize. That's going to be more something we do for our essays, right? So the good news is that all this work that we're doing in the reading response, and next week starting with the progress notes, that will be good raw material and generative material for our essays, right? So I included a link to this YouTube ad, right? And I'll just show you real quick kind of how I thought about it. After an ad, before the ad. So it's very short.
Come out, wherever you are. I've got new Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Same refreshing taste as the original, but without any of the sugar. Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
I am thirsty.
So my reaction is that, you know, there's some famous actors in this. Maybe you recognize them. Bryan Cranston, he was in Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle. Tracy Ellis Ross, an actress from Blackish. And it's an homage, a recreation of specific scenes from a movie called The Shining. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. But even if you haven't, you might have come across other recreations because it's so iconic, right? The product is Mountain Dew, but zero, right? Mountain Dew, no sugar, and they're proposing it's just as good as the original, maybe even better, right? So there's a lot of play with iconic imagery and iconic scenes from a movie. Famous actors, right? They're appealing to specific demographics, people who may know these actors and be familiar with these actors. So lots of good stuff there to try and get us on board, right? To take action. What is the action they want us to take? Well, obviously to buy this new product. They're probably also telling us a little bit about, you know, the original Shining is good, but check out our version of it too. It's funny, right? There's a play at with the expectations of it all. So these are just my initial observations that I could then take and develop into a formal response, right? So I would suggest you go find a commercial that appeals to you. Start watching it. Watch it a few times, right? Look for things like humor. Look for things like, you know, what are they trying to get us to do? Why do you think they're using the story that they're using? And then just take those notes and develop it into a written response. Okay. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And if there's anything on the Canvas page that you're having a hard time finding, just let me know that as well. And I look forward to working with you all. And I will be checking my email over the weekend. So keep your eye on the prize and get those reading responses in and engage with your peers. Okay.